Well, the question is, what rhymes with Christmas?
Yes, miss.
Oh, so we're getting all Christmassy with a Yes-missy. Let's get into it. We are live here at the Lyric Theatre. How exciting.
I can't actually believe it. You know, it's such an institution of Belfast, and we've got an absolute institution of Christmas who's about to join us on our podcast.
Institution of the institution of the institution.
And not institutionalised at all.
And I think this one as well, for anyone that's listening, this podcast is very special. I think possibly you can watch it with your child.
There's a few F-bombs in this one.
Oh, there's a few F-bombs which your child swears on the street.
Maybe we can bleep out the F-bombs this time so we don't have to be explicit.
I think as well, in this very, very special conversation, Seán didn't really get a look in. Seán wasn't on mic, so we want to say hello to Seán. How's it going?
Hi, Seán.
Hey, everybody.
Seán is off camera as usual because we don't allow them on camera, to be honest. But is dressed today as...
matching pink with us, actually.
Matching sort of like a big pink Santa suit. With a big sack and everything else you would expect.
Yeah.
As always.
You're looking gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
That pink hat, it's sort of covering your gorgeous hair though. It's the one bit that we're missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got Santa in person here, and we're here to be so Christmassy. Look at our set.
I know. You wouldn't think that a Christmas tree could be more camp than what we have got behind us here. And then the lovely Rachel from the Lyric came and added our candy canes in.
Oh,
so
she
now
did.
we've got
I was going to take credit for those.
No, we can't. Although I'm going to go and get some of those, I think, because they're fabulous.
So as part of the set, we do have what you're looking at if you're watching YouTube. So if you're listening, make sure you go onto YouTube and search Show Some Love Live. You will find us. But what we're talking about is a beautiful Christmas tree that is multicolored. It's kind of rainbow. The gays have taken Christmas and we're not giving it back.
Yeah.
It's covered in little miniature disco balls that we've been trying to use for about a year. So we actually eventually, we're going to use them in the shop, weren't we? But we eventually used them sort of on the tree. They look gorgeous. They're actually meant to be Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
We've also stolen them. The shop is pretty bare.
Yeah.
Basically. So we, for anyone that doesn't know, we have a little shop at the back of Castle Court. It's up beside Smithfield. It's called the Show Some Love Shop. It's bright pink and full of gays. Right now it is still bright pink, but not full of very much because we've taken the mannequins and the trees and everything.
So we've got a Santa mannequin behind us, and brandished on the top is something that we were able to borrow from the prop store, which was from a Grimes and McKee play called What the Reindeer Saw. It may have actually, they did another play called What the Donkey Heard, so I think it may possibly have been also used in that as well.
I just love that they've let us come behind their scenes. They've let us have a little look and a little sort of explore. We went on a tour. We've talked about it quite a lot. We made like multiple videos and told everyone because we were like so all biz to see behind the scenes. I love to see behind the scenes, even just if anywhere. You know, someone's house when you've went to a party at 3 a.m. I am going to look in your bedroom. I remember once someone told me not to go. You were allowed to go and have a look anywhere you want, but you weren't. I was with my wee friend Martine at a party in Whitehead, and they said you're allowed to go anywhere you want, but you're not allowed to go into this one room. It's full of kittens. So
that's a recipe for disaster.
Long story short, this very sort of aggressive paramilitary type found me on his bed, covered. I think I was wearing his wife's dress, covered in all of his kittens, all of his cats. Yeah, me and Martine had to make a sort of a fast exit. But yeah. Stories of paramilitaries aside, we're here to celebrate Christmas. And we have a lovely set. We're all biz to be here and to have this look.
And on this episode, we are just absolutely delighted to have had Christina Nelson, who is, many of you will recognise Christina from, she's just recently come off Good Vibrations, where they got to go and show that in New York.
Christina is a fucking star.
Yeah, and
you know,
every thread of her being is just joy, you know, and play and crack.
Beyond the long list that you can find, we found on IMDb, we're really impressed. Like we've known Christina for years. She's always very, very, very sweet to us. You knew Christina from seeing her in plays, and I wasn't really part of that world when I was younger. So got to know her sort of outside of that. But she, beyond everything she's did, she's just got that sort of star quality, that kind of X factor.
And it's just a bloody good human as well. So today is actually her day off. They've just been doing tech rehearsals for Hansel and Gretel over the weekend. So she was messaging us. She sent us a lovely message with her wearing a lovely hat and full makeup on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock or something like that, so that she's been working her butt off in the most intense possible time. Today is her day of rest, and she came in to give us an hour of her time to come in for a wee chat.
She actually came in her pyjamas.
I know, full Christmas
pajamas.
regalia. It was gorgeous. It was like Christmas morning in here.
She looked amazing. Well, the conversation you will love. But before we tell her story and sort of really get into the podcast, we have something really very, very special. So as well as the bits that we have on our set that we've borrowed out of the prop store and other parts of the lyric, because they've been so good to us, we have this. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to
What are you going to pull out, Connor? What's in your box?
it's much more wholesome than what's normally in my box, but it's this gorgeous. Look at this.
Oh, it's the Hansel and Gretel storybook. It's a magic storybook as well.
Fresh from the Christmas lights switch on, and just a wee bit in that too. If there's anyone out there who ever manages that Belfast City Council, as we get closer to you and we gently kiss your bottom as we progress.
That actually sounds more dirty somehow whenever you take it down a level or two. It kind of sounds worse.
Sort of,
yeah, I'm a bit turned now.
It's when people say they're naughty.
Yeah.
But as we get closer to the council and we stop saying, cunt so much, we're hoping that someday, you're actually not hoping, this is my dream, but someday you'll let us turn on the Christmas lights. Can we make that happen? Look, we're at the lyric trust us.
Yeah.
We would love to do the big Christmas light switch on. So basically this book came fresh from the Christmas light switch on, where Hansel and Gretel, in fact, Christina's children, who had filled in for the actors because they were
in full tech rehearsal.
Because they were in tech rehearsal. So Lennon and Jazz, who are just born of a star and just stars, they went into the Christmas light switch on, and I think they did a little performance around it. But they brought this book for the story. It comes with its own lighting, which is beautiful. Let me. Oh,
that lovely noise.
So for anyone listening and not watching, number one, what are you doing? Get on and have a look.
See
We're
some
gorgeous.
of those effects.
We're stunning. If you've never seen us before, we're stunning.
Pure stun.
But this book, it's very, very big, isn't it? So it's a big sort of sexy storybook, and it has lights inside, sort of a lovely glow to it. What's the story there, Becky? What would you say that story was?
Hansel and Gretel. The story of Hansel and Gretel. Yes.
Twas the night before. If you actually want to hold it, because it will be. Yes. It was actually Becky's idea to hold it, and I said no because I wanted all the attention.
Well, one thing that we asked whenever we were at the beginning of chatting to Christina was, what rhymes with Christmas? And God love her, we have sent her back into her day off wondering what on earth does rhyme with Christmas. And then
one of our team here has come up with that. Yes, we have a team. It's full production.
And Seán is very kindly going to tell us what rhymes with Christmas, Seán.
Okay, this is going to be tough for me to say because I struggle with my THs.
Okay.
Sounds right. But, and correct me, Jack, but an isthmus.
Isthmus?
Isthmus.
Isthmus?
An isthmus in Greece. Did you say something about Greece? Was it something to do with...
Yes, so there's a region of Greece called Corinth, and it's on an isthmus.
Okay,
So
well there we go.
Isthmus of Corinth.
Is Corinth, is it...
like Corinthia?
Yeah.
Is it mountainous?
I think most of Greece is.
Yes.
Is it like a big plateau, like a...
I think so.
So that's
I mean, in fairness, those were some good facts. So we're not going to press you too hard on that.
Well, we did really press Christina, so we've spoiled it now.
We're going to have to ring Christina now and put her mind at rest that there is actually a rhyme for Christmas.
Christina this year is in Hansel and Gretel.
Yes.
and she's playing about bloody 10 characters, including a beaver, which is fabulous. But she was saying that she'll be on stage and she'll be thinking, what does
Rhyme with Christmas.
rhyme in the middle of a Christmas run, which is pretty stressful here. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
To put on multiple shows and to turn out multiple characters and costume changes and everything else. But she'll be standing on stage in the middle of December and thinking, what is that? What rhymes with that?
Or every party you go to, you can just put it out at the beginning of the party. Come and tell me a rhyme with Christmas, and then somebody will tell you. Or if they don't, then you can be the one to furnish them with those facts. Because I'm personally going to be that person now.
You can come. No. So you come with the fact.
Yeah.
You know the fact, but then you ask the question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I know that's what you're saying. But so you ask the question, and then when everyone's like, "God, we really don't know,"
gives
like
you the perfect opportunity for a well, actually.
oh my
moment.
God. And there's nothing better at Christmas than sitting with your family and just letting them know that, you're a wee bit smarter than them. That you have...
Merry Tricious and a Happy New Year.
Well, since you can't get it, my big bloody massive brain here has got it.
Yeah.
So there we go. We're just like an after 8.
Well, listen, without further ado, we will introduce you to the absolute star and the glorious good human that is Christina Nelson. And we hope you enjoy the conversation.
Have a fucking ball.
What does rhyme with Christmas? I don't know.
Nothing.
It's like what rhymes with purple.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I've never thought of these. I'm going to be up all night now.
Sorry. And you really need your sleep at the minute, love, don't you?
I'm exhausted. Sure,
Well-
I wore my pajamas.
If we were excited before, we are over the moon to have no read on Grimes and McKee.
Yeah.
It was a very good podcast. But we do have Christina Nelson, the stalwart of Christmas here at the Lyric. That's
Yeah,
from the
lyrics,
Lyric.
words. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to be a wart.
I had to Google it because I thought, cheeky bastards. What are they saying?
What is a stalwart?
Yeah, so a stalwart is... It's the sort of the centre of
And an institution.
the
An
sort of
institution.
the centre of the beginning.
Yes.
We need Bruna Diamond here to give us her. She needs to be sort of in dictionary corner.
Yeah.
I am institutionalised, or it should be anyway.
That's what it is.
I mean, there's worse things for it to be Christmas as
There is.
well.
So they said that about you at Christmas, and and then I thought to myself, well, the Lyric are kind of like the centre of a lot of Christmas here. It's kind of like how people experience a lot of their real Christmassy festive ness here in this country, and then you're at the centre of that. That's quite the thing.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think it's lovely. Do you know, it is funny though, because I like people that were young are now bringing their kids.
Oh.
So that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although it means that I'm getting older, which isn't so good, but it's still nice and
But
magical.
as you get older, are your roles then, because in my imagination, your roles then become, you become Mrs. Claus rather than an elf or whatever. But this year you're playing, so you're in Hansel and Gretel and you're playing a kid? You're playing a kid?
am. I'm playing a wee boy called Bugs.
Gorgeous.
And that actor-
Actually, I'm not sure whether it's a boy or not. It's just a wee person called Bugs. And Bugs has big legs and funny shorts and also has really big boobies.
Love
Which is
it.
fun.
It's hilarious, yeah.
Gorgeous.
So he's funny. He's supposed to be bad. He wants to be in the bad boys. He's with the bad boys, but he doesn't really want to be, or they don't really want to be bad.
But he's very sweet.
So often
So
the
there's
case
a
that
sweetness
though,
in
isn't
there.
it?
Well, they get sort of dragged along because they think that's what you have to do. But in actual fact, good wins out in the end. And I like that.
Oh,
Let's hope that happens for everybody this Christmas.
I think
Good wins
so.
out in
Wow,
the end.
you are so, it's almost as if you became some sort of politician.
Yeah,
You're
or a
sitting-
guru.
Can you imagine?
Oh,
I'd
a
love it.
guru.
Get them and back
Fairness,
to the
you'd get my vote any day.
So you're sort of in your guru era where now that you're a stalwart of Christmas. Or we'll have to think
I
of
should
something
be in
else.
Stormont.
Like the Oprah of Belfast. I
The
think we should
opera
go with.
of Christmas in Belfast. But Christina behind the scenes is maybe not, you're not so, it's not so diplomaticable.
No, I'm not. Not even. Nowhere am I diplomatic. Well, you have to say what you think, don't you?
Exactly.
I would say
Whilst
that you...
showing some love, of course.
We have talked about we've talked about it on this podcast before about how people are either the crack or a gag.
Yeah.
And that's sort of there's...
Because there's a difference.
Oh, is there?
And like, it's only whenever you think about, like, people being either the crack or a gay, because I think a lot of people would maybe put those two descriptions in the same box.
Aye.
But it's only whenever you start to, like, it's something intuitive about knowing, hang on a second, yeah, I can see that. I would describe that person as the crack.
I don't know what I want to be. What do I want to be? On the crackometer?
I think people can change, because whenever I've tried to look at Connor and I and say, like, which one of us is the crack and which one of us is a gag, and then I realise that it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
And it depends on the people around you.
Some people
as
have
well.
a flow.
Yeah.
You know, theatre people and people who are sort of in the creative world often have a flow. And you are, for all that you're very diplomaticable today, which is
New word.
which is the word that I'm trying to use this week. Yeah, it's sort of my word of the week. But for all that you are, your peace and love and light with your Oprah answers, you're the fucking crack. You're just that person within a room that can sort of
Said I am.
that can,
You are.
but can
Yeah.
play. You know, you're allowed to say that you are. You know, you should be
that's
proud
good.
to be that.
Yeah.
But you're a person that can play and have fun, and maybe not take it too seriously.
Well, you have to, don't you? Like, let's face it. I mean, I did wear my Christmas pajamas.
I love them.
Especially for everybody.
I wish that we were wearing our pajamas.
I know, look, I even wore my slippers, can you see?
Oh my God! Don't be showing them your feet. They have to pay extra for that.
But here, do you know what? Talking about getting older, you do feel it on stage. And I mean, like,
Yes.
even though I'm playing that wee boy, when I'm getting up, my knees are a wee bit like, oh. Yeah, it's a funny old thing getting older, isn't it? But you do have to keep the...
But I suppose it's one thing what happens within your body, but it's another thing what happens within your mind. Like, I found myself, like, once I got over the 40 mark, I realised that, this is why women say this, that once you get over 40, you stop caring so much about what people think of you. And I've been working on that for a long time anyway, particularly with Connor. Connor really helped with that, with just play, you know, with just like not, although what we do day to day can be quite serious subjects and things, but we never take ourselves too seriously within it.
Yeah.
And I realised that you're kind of this, like, again, these are big words, but you're kind of like the bastion of that for us, because you just have this default position of play. You know, of just like not taking yourself too seriously, and even though you're a serious actor, you know, and you've got some mad skills in that respect, and it's not just Christmas that you do. You know, you do all. You know, you're a year right. Sorry, I've just hit my.
No, they don't just unbox you.
Yeah.
No, thank gosh. Thank goodness they don't just save me for Christmas.
A year-round
Yeah.
career. But like that joy that you bring, like that ability to just play, you know, is that something that you have to work on, or is that something that you feel is just kind of part of you? Did you discover that early, and how would other people, do you think, capture that?
I think I'm just the kid, you know, that probably hasn't grown up. I still don't really know what I want to do with my life, I suppose.
Yes.
No, but you have to, like, protect yourself. So you have to be able to play.
Yeah.
And have an imagination.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to see outside that box, or like, if you've got the box, just play with it.
Yeah.
Always play with your box.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we were going BBC here, but clearly.
Always play with your box. You
Yes.
never know
Wow.
what's in there.
Yeah.
But it's true, just be a nice person, and like, we're all in it together in this big world.
Yeah.
Let's look after it and each other and have a bit of crack.
Yeah.
There's
Or
all-
a gag, whatever you want, prefer.
Yeah.
Or both.
Or both.
Both at the same time. The sort of the complementary thing is if you can get someone who is a crack and then someone that understands being a gag. We were talking about it the other night, and we've talked about it quite a lot actually. But I think about you as mainly the crack. Becky as being mainly the crack, and it's something that's a little bit more kind of maybe a little bit smarter, a little bit more thoughtful in terms of how it's kind of put out there. There's kind of like there's a sequence to it, you know, there's a bit of thought to it. I think it's like, you're the crack, and it's like it's quite a smart place to hold, quite a smart thing to be. And a gag is just someone who's like really good at kind of like reacting, is given life.
It's a gob. That's what's wrong with
Yeah.
me too. I have a gob.
But you need both of those
Terrible.
things.
I just, sometimes things come out and you go, oh, now not malicious things, but
Yeah.
like,
No.
just think, like, you just have to be honest, don't you? And,
Yeah.
you know, that's,
Secret to life.
as long as you're not hurting anybody's feelings.
It's
Yeah.
making sure that you can be honest. It's like doing the work yourself, so that you don't have that hatred inside you, so that you don't have that venom that can just sort of sneak out. Because you get people that are like, they try to be the gag, but actually they're quite there's
Bitter.
like,
Mean.
they're bitter.
Bitter.
They're
Yeah.
bitter.
Oh.
There's hurt
Yeah.
in there, and you can feel it, and
Yeah.
and you can really, if you don't have that for someone, it's why we associate that, I think, with love in this country. Certainly, we were talking about this with Grimes McKee, our close personal friends now.
Oh, yes, of course.
We are,
Come see them this Christmas.
Yes, we'll be going to the press show and probably, I don't know,
Will
going.
you?
Yeah, we'll probably start going on holidays with them and things.
Yeah,
you know, we're
basically.
that
To barbecue.
we're that
Good luck to you.
close.
Yeah.
I'm only joking. Sure, they're a gag. No, they are. They are.
I got lost in our new celebrity relationships.
But you know, I have to tell you, Alan McKee plays a mean wolf. Yeah, at Christmas. One year we were stuck in these big all fur suits. Can you imagine?
Gag.
And dancing our socks off, roasted. We were the big bad wolves. Well, we weren't. We were big and not that bad, but I tell you.
But you were boiling.
We were roasted.
I'm sure.
Oh my God! You want to smell his question? Honestly, so
You're getting in
Let's
here,
hope
folks.
there's no
This is the
fur
behind
this
the
year.
scenes.
smell-a-thon.
Here, I saw a gorgeous picture of you on Belfast. You know, was it historical Belfast? That makes it.
I'm so
but, you know,
old.
No,
it was in the
never known it like
museum.
no, but
You
it
know
was a picture of you outside a theatre. Do you remember? And I think Nuala McKeever had commented on it as well, because people kept thinking it was her, was one of the other two ladies in the
Right.
photograph.
Right.
But my God, that was a beautiful thing. And you were acting like then as a teenager. Like, so how
I
long have
wasn't
you
that
been?
young then? I don't think 1992. I was about I was about 22. Was I? Yeah, around that age. Yeah, 22 maths wasn't my strong point. But you know, that picture is hilarious because it popped up. I think people must have thought it was like the olden.
Were you wearing like historical
But it is, I
costume?
suppose it
Were
is.
you playing somebody
Yes.
from the 60s? Is that what it was? And the
Yeah.
photograph's black and white as
Yeah.
well. So it looks
Oh,
right.
so it
Okay, so I
wasn't
thought you were
actually-
quite a
Wasn't
bit
actually so-
younger.
But I mean, let's
in the
face it,
photograph.
it wasn't that. Well, that's good. I think I did used to look young when I was young.
No, I
had
thought you were a
fresh young
teenager
breasts,
in
I was
it.
beautiful. I had legs, I had a waist. That is hilarious. Do you know, but that picture, that director put me in that costume. My God, there was hardly anything to it.
Oh,
And
was it? Because I never seen the picture. Is it like boobies out? Do you?
It's very, like they're up
sort
there,
of
they're
micro
up there today,
minis.
which is great. but-
They're looking well in those pajamas.
Yeah. But it was, and I've got my legs out. No, hilarious.
It's a beautiful
But that was a
picture.
great show, Stags and Hens.
That's what this show was.
And
Yes,
funny,
Stags
but
and Hens.
McKee was in it too. Alan was in
Oh,
it.
for goodness
Alan was
sake.
in that show. But that picture keeps popping up, and people are like, "Who are these?"
Mystery women,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Will you just tag me again?"
Did you see that theatre? That was a brilliant theatre. That was the Arts Theatre in Belfast,
Yeah.
which is now a bingo hall. What
Yeah.
a flipping crime shame. I do like bingo, but like it was a brilliant theatre.
Yeah, I
real
remember it.
people's sort
Where
of
was that?
theatre. It was just above. It's in Botanic.
Yeah.
right beside.
It's now Town Square, isn't
Town
it?
Square,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just
Oh,
next
yeah.
So it was sort of
Where the gala is now.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Oh, you're the theatre world. I'm the bingo world.
Look, I love bingo. Oh my gosh,
Same.
and I love calling bingo.
That's one of
Yes.
my bucket list dreams.
I
I
love
have
it.
I have a load of random shit on my bucket list that I'm just like dying to do, and I don't know when I'm going to fit it in. But one of them is bingo calling, and someone that we met
Yes.
at a wedding this summer. This wild wedding of Emer and Jared. It was fabulous. But one of the guests that we got to meet, they were dropping off things. So I think they were asking about our work. You know that thing where people are like, "So what do you do?" And we kind of hate to ask that question, and we also hate to kind of get into it because no matter what way you spin it, and you're maybe in this world too. No matter what way you
Yes.
spin it, it sort of sounds a wee bit wanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, that's her over there, bloody talking about her showbiz
she's
career.
actor.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? That kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, they brought it up anyways, and they were dropping down donations, and they were wearing a bingo thing.
Oh.
And I says, "Oh, where'd you get your bingo thing? Do you work there, or what? Did you work there? Or what's the crack?" I'm here for like the tiny details, the things, beyond anything else. A conversation kind of about nothing that it's even
Yeah.
meant to be about. Like he was double parked in the middle of the street, didn't have time
Connor's
or
like
space
asking
for
intricate
conversation.
questions about how the bingo all
Oh,
works.
yeah, that.
But it turns out he runs it, and he's actually. I was like, I've always wanted to be a bingo caller. I'm sure he is. Well, I think he runs it. I don't know if he takes the money. Maybe he takes the money. He drove a very nice car. But I asked him if I could do the bingo calling. If, number one, if I did it, would the grannies kill me.
Yeah.
It wasn't right.
Because it's very competitive.
Oh, they would.
Yeah.
Because it really is a thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you're too noisy or you create a distraction,
And you can't make up your own ones, for you can't say, like,
I know, I love that shake your balls, Bobby, and
yeah,
all that, yeah.
exactly, like legs 11 and, you know.
Well, it is legs 11, isn't it?
88,
It is legs 11.
Two little ducks.
Two little ducks.
Oh,
Quack,
yes.
quack.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You'd have to remember all of those, or else, like, read them off a list, and then the women would kill you. Or I suppose more genders do it, but
Sometimes
predominantly
they
an
need a
audience
wee
of women.
change.
But I think what I would like to do is, even if you just subtly change it up, you know, like the way they do drag bingo, and you would
Yeah.
have like two little fucks,
Oh, yes.
you know. But then you could complain, wouldn't you? I suppose it's not my job. I'm only
Yeah.
there for the day.
They mightn't like that. They might
Yeah.
kill you if you did
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the two little...
Yeah.
The efforts.
Yeah, they mightn't like that.
Wow.
Some of them might. You just don't know. But here, the reason I do know is because the lovely Richard Croxford, who's a gorgeous man, used to run the Lyric Theatre, actually.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, he wrote a play about bingo.
Gorgeous.
And we had to go and do research. He took us all around the bingo halls. Oh my God, I won 600 quid.
Sweet.
Yes, in the research. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely. But it was a game. They really take it. You have to be quick.
Yeah.
Fingers
Yeah.
of lightning with your dabber. You have to dab like...
Yeah.
And you have that's the big pens, aren't they? The
That's it,
dabbers.
the dabbers.
Yes.
The
We didn't have
closest
dabbers in my day.
I've always wanted to play bingo in like in the traditional setting, but the only place I've ever played it is in Cabergay in Union Street on a Sunday night. They do
Oh,
a bit
they're
of Sunday
very
bingo
sweet.
show, and like usually, you know, everybody's there and having a wee drink and having the gag and all the rest of it, and they're all out having a smoke, and I'm like sitting with my pen, like taking it really,
Becky
really
takes it
seriously.
really seriously.
I love it. I'm a wee bit competitive.
I like it too. I do. I love it too. We played it too in Donegal during COVID, right?
Gorgeous.
In a car park. And they put a wee thing on. It was like... You were in the I love that.
Oh, they put a thing on in the car park. It was like a COVID, the cinema thing or whatever, like
Like
the
a
drive-in
drive-in.
thing.
Drive-in
I
bingo
love
in
that.
Donegal.
Love. Did you
Isn't it
my
mad? Like there were
days.
so many inventive, like you know, like necessity is the mother of invention, as they say. There were so many gorgeous things happened during COVID, where people just used opportunities to get together. And obviously, COVID meant that you know the theatres were closed, and of course, the theatres closed for a bit longer than everything
Well,
else.
that's what I mean. That's when this bingo was. It was a bit longer. It wasn't like actually during COVID time, of course.
But you know, I had really like had positive hopes that you know post COVID and things like that people would have had those habits stick a wee bit better and cherish those things a wee bit more. But sometimes it feels like things have kind of gone back to where they were a wee bit. You know,
I was thinking about that, funny enough, this morning before I came in, about, I wonder, we should do like a poll. Who is hugging more
Yes.
than pre-COVID? Because
Yeah.
I think, well, I mean, I was quite a hugger anyway, but you know,
Yeah.
like I do feel like
You're a
I'm
good hugger.
hugging. I love a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love a hug.
Really appreciate
a wee
it.
kiss. Do
Yeah.
you know, like that's a nice thing, isn't it?
The only
I think
difference for
people
us-
are afraid now. Or
I-
have they brought it back? Bring
I-
back hugging.
I
Yeah.
think
Like fingering us.
yeah, exactly like Stephen Stump.
Oh, shout out for being back fingering.
Yeah.
You can't actually say whose stump it is. It's a secret campaign, Becky.
Sorry, I've just ruined it.
Yeah.
But I think now
For
we
the
would
piano,
tend to.
of course.
That's
Yes,
what it is.
exactly.
Fingering
We-
the keys.
We also
Fingering-
get our volunteers in our shop to, whenever they're laying things out nicely on the rails, they're fingering the rails.
Yeah.
Yeah, while they're
Yes,
realising.
that's what it is.
But what was I just going to say there?
So we were talking about
Bingo.
bingo, and then we were talking about fingering, and then we were talking about COVID.
Oh yes.
Wow.
It was about. It was about
Merry Christmas.
It was about consent.
Yes.
That was what I was going to say about hugging. You know,
Oh, right.
like so.
Back
So we're big huggers, like very much, like actually almost to a point where sometimes, you know, somebody will put their hand out to shake their hand because I still have that default from being in the corporate world. Sometimes I'll just almost be unaware of my own hand and it goes
Yeah.
out to shake it. But we try to be more kind of huggers. And but now we realise that for us, we used to sort of go in for a hug even whenever people didn't have a word. Like it was
Yeah.
almost like against their
Yeah.
will kind of thing. Not really, but now we would actually say, "Are you a hugger?"
Yeah.
That's sort of part of our vernacular now, whereas it wasn't before. You know,
Yeah.
because it's sort of just being a wee bit mindful that not everybody is.
I know. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We had a corporate group, and I won't say where they're from, but it was recently enough. And there was a lady that was part of that group, and she must just, I imagine she works in an office somewhere, like doing the accounts or something. She doesn't have to have any contact with people. She was forced to come on this charity day. And I says, "Are you a hugger?" And she says, "Absolutely not."
By the end of it, I bet she was hugging everybody. By the end of it, she was the hugger.
She might have said, it might have been, it was absolutely not, it might have been something to do with me, but it was very direct and it was very early in the morning. And I remember thinking, wow, we're in for a day with it. In the end, we had the best day ever.
Yeah, she loved it. She liked it.
Yes, we love it. And we love having corporate groups in. We love their money and we love their help. And won't talk about fingering, I promise.
No.
Yes. So...
COVID and Christmas, I'm going to give you a wee quick one.
Oh, yes.
That also popped up this morning was a picture of me outside an elder care establishment.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember
that.
And so I was Bette Midler. I looked like it had been Bette Midler rather than being Bette Midler. But anyway, I'm outside and it was snowing and it was freezing and I'm with no microphones or anything.
Yes.
So I'm like shouting through the window, hey, all this. But I was talking about this in the script. It was about being in New York, and whenever all this goes away, I'm going to take you to New York, and we're going to sip champagne in the theaters, 42nd Street. We're going to go, and you have to dream, you have to hang on to your dreams. And in actual fact, I was in New York. It only just dawned on me.
Oh.
I'd never been to New York. I didn't know what I was talking about. But now I've been.
So you
and I sipped champagne and I did it.
It looked very fancy. It looked very showbiz.
It's like dreams come true.
So what you're saying is you made all those promises to all those old people,
Yeah,
And then you went off without them.
You fucked off in a flight. That is savage. Savage.
But I met some really nice old people when I got there.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good.
Original old people. From America. It was, you think you see them, they're like in cartoons.
Yes.
Like characters.
Oh, proper New Yorkers.
But these guys, I met them in a diner, in the Westway Diner. Go if you ever get a chance. They do great pancake stacks.
Yes.
Anyway, and these old guys, I was earwigging. Can't help myself.
Yeah.
And they were all like talking about, Joe Bob. I was like, when we opened the actor studio, and I went, these guys are proper like they are from the day back in the day.
Wow.
And turned out, so I brought them to the theatre and all. I'd give them free tickets, come and see the show. They loved it. It was brilliant. So that's good.
It's funny because conversations then, they're like people who like at one stage did... I don't know.
Original Broadway stars.
But it's people that have been to like Studio 54 and they've they've ridden that white horse and they've danced with Grace Jones and you're like, well, I know Grimes and McKay.
Yeah.
And
But the Good Vibrations story is like, now globally known. Like it's one of the things that like there's many things that we have to be proud of, and some of the proudest things that we have here have been the things that have been born in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
Totally.
So to be able to put that on a world stage like that, I mean, we were just following along, just being all biz for you, on the whole cast and crew and all the
know
rest
that
of it.
happens in our house.
So cool.
We'll see a picture, and if one of us hasn't seen it first, we'll be like, look at that.
I know.
Isn't that magic?
Yeah.
Just delighted for you. So how did that feel, Lynn?
Oh, it was amazing. Like we felt $1 million. It was like Christmas. It was really good. The people loved us.
Yeah.
And we loved it. We were treated really well. It was great to get the mess. Like they were like, I mean, the music, obviously bringing the music. The people.
It's an international message.
Yeah.
That you're saying to get the message, but like it's really the reason why it hits home with us, but it's not really just a local story. The reason why it can be global and it can be felt in other places is because we've all in our own way, as humans, we have to go through that. No matter what, where you are on the sort of social scale, no matter what you do for a living or where you were educated or what privilege you had or you don't have, it's sort of our shared experience that life is terrible, it's hard. Yeah. And we have to make them, it's back to that kind of crack, we have to make the most of it. We have to bring it back to a bit of fun and a bit of joy or a bit of lightness, even in the darkest moments, that you can then give birth to something so creative and so beautiful, like in that story. I love that when you walk into this theatre, you are, and I don't know if you love it, I don't know if you're allowed to say that you love it.
It's like home. That's why I'm in my pyjamas.
Yeah.
I know that you're allowed to say you love it, of course, here, because, they're paying your bills for this winter. But the fact that when you walk in here, the first picture that there is on the wall is it's you and all of the other characters on the stage here at the Lyric, and it's Good Vibrations.
That's it.
And you, and out of everyone looks fantastic. It's a great image, but out of everyone, you're sort of there And for anyone that's watching on YouTube, they'll be able to see this, but it's this real kind of like
levitating.
Like moment, but you can really see the energy, and like anytime you pass, sort of like just have a little look for Christina, in the middle of it all.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Those are good.
No, but
we'll be in Stormont before you know it, won't we?
Well, I hope not.
No, we're going to take it over.
In fairness,
No.
I
They
think we
should
should
open those
stage
doors
a
and let us all
sit-in.
in.
Yes, exactly. I think there's
a
probably a
party.
lot of people that could do like a much better job than those who aren't there right now.
I know.
But like again, we're very fortunate to like know you. We're very very
It's a
very
real privilege,
privileged that you came
Really?
to do this for us
Ditto.
today. And just for people that are listening, this is Christina's very much needed day off.
Yeah, the
we're
pajamas
just
aren't
like-
actually a costume. She's
Yeah.
literally just got out of bed,
She's
just
actually-
trying to have a rest.
Yeah,
It's true.
And we've stuck a microphone in front of her, and she's come in fully tinselled and glistened.
Oh, yeah.
But just you as a person and as a human as well, like you're clearly like a total superstar whenever it comes to your creative power and your acting and things like that. But this isn't the first time for us that you have pulled it out of the bag for us. And it occurred to me a lovely memory that I have of us of
Yes.
a couple of years ago whenever we were in the vault and we had just, as part of late night arts and just also kind of just for shits and giggles, just for pure fun and for the crowd.
I think we needed to
decorated-
actually have a focus. It was a real
Yeah.
hard week where we're just like, we've got to just do something creative and pointless and just away from emails and all the
creativity
madness.
for creativity's sake.
Yeah.
So we took a disabled toilet that was no longer functional and we completely turned it gold. And obviously that's a bit of a play on the golden toilet and things like that as well. And on top of that, so once we had finished it, we decided we were going to do a lunch.
At the time, they were doing the big lunch, and it was like, when something goes from an in joke to an out joke, and I don't really care if anyone doesn't get it. I don't care.
It's just
But
the
it was
fact
the
we
big,
find it
it was
funny.
the big
Funny.
lunch, and it's brought to you by some organisation. But it's called the Big Lunch. It's a community project. They bring people together, and you sort of like eat on your street, and you get to know your
Yes.
neighbours.
Yeah.
It's like you bring some food and all the rest of it. But I in the car was saying it was the big lunch. In this sort of very BT9 way. And we were putting it into, and again, it's just a personal joke. It's something we'll look back at in years to come. But we were putting it into a lot of our contents, and we're going to the big lunch, and it's going to be fabulous, and all the rest of it. So I think it started from there. And once we did the toilet, we were done. We sort of saved ourselves, and we got what we needed from it. But once that had happened, then we were walking around the vault, and we were saying to everyone, we're having a big lunch.
Yeah.
And did you hear about our recent work? And I think it's a wee bit of it's sort of a bit of a riff on maybe some artists that take themselves very, very seriously. It's all very, very, very serious. And of course it is. But we can have fun.
Yeah.
Behind the
Exactly.
scenes, if we're having a conversation, we don't need to put our...
Guard up.
You're not speaking to
Exactly,
the
yeah.
Arts Council here.
Yeah.
So we're having fun with that. And it kind of just really got out of hand, didn't it?
We decided to do a date and a time, and we asked you to come along and officially open it for us, because we kind of thought that you would just turn up as you and like say a few words and snip a ribbon, and we'd have a wee laugh and all the rest of it. We said to Joshua Burnside, Josh, come on along and play us a wee song, would you? And they were so down for it. They were just like, yeah, no problem. So we kind of said date and time, sort of Thursday at 7:00, whatever it was. And then the next thing, people were turning up that we had never met before, or we'd maybe met once.
We were
and they
working.
like, yeah. And yes, we'd been very busy. We sort of like screeched in on two wheels into the car park to attend our own big launch. And then the next thing, there's like a crowd of people, like it was internal people, but we had like people sitting on the ground. You came along fully costumed.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Gave a
Sure, in
full
for a penny and for a
speech.
pound.
You had...
It was wonderful.
You had
joyful.
that room that was directly facing the disabled
Yeah.
toilet. It's so glamorous.
I only took that room because it had a hatch.
It's
I thought,
great.
I can play with that hatch like all day.
That room was very small,
Tiny.
but it was wall to wall, wonderful, weird
Wasn't
costumes.
it? It was
Yeah.
like Mr. McJorium's Magic Wonder Emporium.
Yes.
Yes.
It was very that. But you came and you threw on whatever one of those weird costumes were.
It was wonderful.
And I swear, you were saying it was people from the vault. I think it was like friends of people from the
Yeah,
vault as well.
true.
Because they had heard that you were coming to open and Joshua Burnside was playing.
Yeah.
We screeched in.
It was brilliant.
But we went down to we were like, we had taken up, they wouldn't give us space because we weren't real artists. But
yeah.
not to bring it up, but we had taken up sort of unused space in the unused space in like an old corridor. Do you know, remember beside Neil's
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
rooms? He had said, look, I'm not really using that. It's full of wood and all that sort of crap, but if you need more space because we're really expanding, you can have it. So we had ran down, and I think we were like grabbing some packs and doing some stuff, thinking, we'll turn up for Christina, we'll take some content, we'll take a few pictures, and then we'll do a runner. We didn't really even take the fact that
what I was
Joshua Burnside was coming that seriously.
Yeah.
We thought
thought it was like one of those things that somebody says, oh, yeah, I'll come and do it. And then everybody bloody turned
then
up.
they arrived, you came in full costume, there was an audience.
Yeah.
And you did there was a whole speech. I think you just must have just made it up. I didn't
totally
write
off
it.
the cuff. It was gorgeous. And everyone's like,
But I tell you what, is it out there? It's in the world somewhere.
yeah.
Oh, the video?
Yeah, that must be in the world.
Yeah.
Somebody recorded it.
Yeah,
I
if
wonder.
we can find it, we'll put it into this,
Yeah.
and if we can't
my
find
days.
it, it'll be in some story
Yeah.
somewhere in some archive.
Yeah.
But if
That
not
might
for
end
this,
my career then.
Josh
possibly.
then
Oh, no, it was amazing.
sat on the gold toilet and
Yeah.
played his guitar and
And it was
sang.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can never remember the name of the song, but it's "And the Orange Juice." You know that
oh,
one
the
there.
Seán will know this.
Yeah.
Seán. Seán is here today, everyone. We're just sort of,
Hey, Seán.
Hi,
I know, Seán often speaks on the podcast,
Sean's
Christina.
hair is on fleek,
Isn't
isn't
it?
it?
I know, isn't it?
It's always
Isn't it
perfection.
gorgeous?
Always perfection.
Yeah.
It's very good. This is my first. I'm a podcast virgin.
Is it?
I don't even know what a podcast is.
But what's
Yes, I
that?
love
What's that song with the orange juice? It's like a folk song. It's Irish.
And the orange juice. Stephen knows every.
Come on, you
it's
have
like,
to get
Wow.
that.
It's like a
right.
full
You will not be
story.
welcome back into West Belfast.
No, I know,
That's
we'll
you
have
bars.
To find out.
If you're put out of the house, you can come and sleep on our sofa for a bit.
It wasn't whiskey.
Yes.
Oh, he did do Whiskey.
I love that
Yes,
one.
he did Whiskey as well.
So you did a couple. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what we'll do, we'll find the content. If we don't put it into this, what we will do is post it on our TikTok or Instagram or
Yeah.
wherever else you can find us.
But yes, I'm all biz to find this is your first podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know what? But it's just like a nice chat, really.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
And you know, it's not like I suppose like an interview
Yeah.
format. It's kind of just sitting having a bit of crack and you know getting to know if you don't know the person already, like getting to know them or you know whatever that sort of your perspective is. But for us, we were just like. You're such a busy lady. We were also just really looking forward to being able to sit down
Yeah.
I know.
and get your time, your undevoted time, and be able to just sit and have a wee chat with you.
The last time we seen you were on that tour coming round here.
Oh, yes.
We were there. We were sort of being grouped together with the
were doing a
press for
tour
that
of the
day for
Lyric.
some reason. So it was like a press lunch, and we were invited, and we were just all busy to be there. People who it's their job just don't really. I don't think they're just there to create the content to kind of go on and go home maybe because that's just what they do for a living.
Yeah.
And they've did it a million times. For us, we were really excited. We're like, oh my God, there's wee buns and oh my God, there's coffee and we're going on a tour.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, we went through all the backstages and they showed us some stuff before it came up. We got to see this knicker drawers.
Yeah.
We got to
the
see
detail we're
the
here
Headless
for.
Soldier set before anyone else. Nobody can't take photos. In fact, Maddie Cavan, who's coming on the podcast soon, was shouting up from the stage in the middle of it all. Here, I never replied to your message. But we had such a good time. And then at the end of it, you shouted. I think the girl that was taking the tour was just like, hey, fuck these people.
Yeah.
When people keep shouting at them.
I was on my way back from the loo. If I had known, and I think I had my Show Some Love T-shirt on that
Oh,
day.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I should have given you a quick flash,
representing.
but I just thought I'd have a wee quick.
Give us a wee
things.
shimmy.
I love
I love
it.
Well, nice to promote for us. If anyone wants one of those T-shirts or any of our merchant, including Christina's favourite mug, which is the favourite. Is that the best mug you've ever used?
Delicious.
Nice
Perfect.
mouthfeel.
Everything tastes lovely. out
Doesn't
of
it taste better?
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Keeps it
tastes
How
hotter.
many calories?
But as we're promoting our stuff, I think we wouldn't be welcome back to the Lyric if we didn't actually talk about.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you know I'm going to be a beaver?
What?
Oh, here.
yes,
Leave it
Hansel
to
Gretel.
Beaver.
You're a beaver in Hansel Gretel now.
I'm a beaver.
Oh, I
I'm
thought.
going to be the best beaver you ever did say.
So you need a couple of things. So you're
Oh,
playing
and
out.
loads of things.
Oh.
I'm not just.
So budget cuts. So budget cuts, and you have to do 4 roles
Yeah.
for what you used to get paid for
That's
one.
it. It's true. You're laughing. That's
So you're quick changing from the kid to the beaver. Do you have to change back or?
Oh yes, several times. So I
that's
play
work.
a beaver. a lovely Christmas beaver, and it's going to be the best beaver you get this Christmas. And
is it what I think? Is it going to be written in the way that I would imagine it's written? Because that sort of writes itself.
Yeah.
What do you think the beaver?
Like Simpsons humour.
Well,
do you know where it's like written for the grown-ups, but the kids can totally hear it?
Does a beaver mean the same thing to you as it means to me? Is that just my mind?
Yeah.
Is it?
Possibly.
I think it is.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, nobody has any clue what you're talking about.
This wee beaver, he is a he. He is a scout.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a wee scout.
And does he wear his wee...
Does he toggle?
Does
he have a toggle?
He's got a toggle. He's got a sash.
Or a
Because
goggle?
he's the leader
Yeah.
of the scouts. There's many beavers, in fact.
Oh my God.
I've got a full troop of beavers.
Oh, that's
It's brilliant.
wonderful.
And it's very funny. And he's from Belfast.
Does he have
He's
a
from the
voice?
West.
Does he have a voice
He
that's
does.
separate to your voice?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's very good. He can't wait.
I love it. So it's him kind of up Colin
Scout
Glen
Ridge.
somewhere.
Yeah. Inspiring everybody. He's brilliant. I love him. And then I play the evil aunt as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she dates Uncle Dan, the woodcutter.
Wow.
Wow, it's
she
Uncle
is
Dan.
lovely.
Who's playing Uncle
She's
Dan?
just
Uncle
beautiful.
Dan sounds
Uncle
gorgeous.
Dan is Orla Gormley.
Oh.
Yes.
And that kind of a Christmas panto tradition of just like swapping genders and
Oh, yes.
doing many roles and all the rest of it.
Well, that's where the word drag came from. It's dressed as girl, isn't it?
Dressed
That-
as...
girl.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's where that came from. It's like I actually heard as well that there's maybe it's a Shakespearean play that somewhere in the States was being put out, as it has done for hundreds of years. And because of the new laws that are coming out into the States, they're now having to, and they wanted to do it in the traditional way where they have either a woman play a man or a man play a woman. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Oh, they're not allowed to
But
cross-dress?
they're not allowed to do it because of the new laws that are coming in that are anti-drag.
right.
That now has filtered across because it's black and white, the wording as it is. So now they have to bring some of their plays that are being done in the traditional, beautiful way. They have to now put them through new processes.
Wow.
Because that is how draconian some of the laws are in terms of how they're written. So thankfully that is not the case here. And we
No.
can still experience the joy
And our-
of wearing whatever the hell you want to wear.
Yes.
You know?
Long may that last.
Well, get your
Please.
beaver while you can.
Yes.
Because
You heard it here
they
first.
Because they could ban it.
They'll never be banning my beaver. We could have actually a campaign. Everybody out with your placards.
Hashtag no beaver ban. I would love, I love the idea of like a fake protest, sort of like Father Ted style. And it's
Down with this
weird
sort of
because
thing.
as activists,
beaver.
we are actually there for real protests. So it
Yeah.
doesn't work. I went into a world where this idea is not going to work for me. But I love the idea of like you putting on a play and us coming to
And like fake protesting
to
it
ban
for
the
some
beaver.
reason.
I think that would be so fun and how fun and interactive for the audience.
Yes.
There was a guy once that was doing a vegan. So we used to do all the vegan festivals and do all the markets and pop ups and all the rest. And we were doing one where there was a guy that was following this vegan festival around. And this one was in the Europa, but this guy used to bring, I don't know why it triggers people so much, but I think it's because it's linked to the left and it's linked to being woke and all the rest of it. I think less so
This
now.
guy was protesting veganism.
So he was
Basically.
going around and he was protesting veganism
Yeah.
and he was like eating things like pig's heads and stuff. It was
Like-
too much.
in
So
front of
In Belfast.
in
He
Belfast, so
was
he was
coming to
he was
Belfast,
going
yeah.
around everywhere that they went. He was sort of following them and standing outside and for some reason, badgering.
happy guy, sounds like very fulfilled life.
But the idea that we came, oh my God, this is relevant to you.
It is.
So the idea that we came up with, we had a banana costume, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we had a banana costume because I think for this, actually, we bought it for this. So
Yeah.
it was like the cheapest fucking, you've seen it, the cheapest like Halloween costume, banana costume thing that it was so cheap that it would like flop. So I would have to stick like Tesco bags in it to make the banana bits stand up. But the idea was I was going to get my fake protesting dream and stand beside him. It's sort of like his sidekick.
Yeah.
Say like I'm with him.
Yes.
Like, as
And it
if
would
like
be-
these vegans are eating my family.
Yeah.
Because I'm a banana.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
it was maybe a wee
brilliant.
bit of a reach, but like we were.
Brilliant.
Isn't that funny? I swear that it sounds like a very professional setup, and it's just happened
Like,
by
it was
mistake.
quite the
So
segue.
we had the banana costume, and then we were doing a fringe at that same place, the vault where the golden toilet was, and we were doing a fringe festival, and Christina had signed up or set up or planned this special type of play.
Didn't you put it up on the group to say, does anybody have a banana costume?
Yes.
Wasn't that how we made the connection? I was like, actually.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, and we were always very much in the space, in that place. Like, we first joined there and kind of started storing our stuff, and then started doing a wee bit more, and started getting involved more, because it was a real lifesaver for me. Like, I was determined not to be here in and around that time, and finding a community of people that were. I remember going to do the Christmas market and actually doing it by myself. You were doing the black box, and afterwards you walking up the car park and going, I think we find our people here.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just
people like yourself,
yourself,
just
and like
Joybringers.
So many, there's like 100 and something people. There's so many people within that space that were just creative and fun and full of play and joy and all the rest of it. And we really found our people. So in that space, because it had given us so much, we were very much in the space of, on that group, if someone wanted something and we had it, you would go out of your way to really try to do it.
Yeah.
So you'd asked if anyone had a banana costume, and I think the plan was someone else was going to do it.
Yeah.
So we got to the Fringe day and we were doing a wall.
And so explain your concept for the Fringe. Do you remember that for that event? Like,
Not at all. You
just kind of made it up as you were going along.
Yeah.
My memory of it was like that. I suppose because I'm not writing stuff and being part of those things all the time.
Inflatable bananas as well.
Yes, you had
Yes.
inflatable bananas hanging from the roof.
Bananas.
And you got people into like a wee secret room within the vault by rumour. Do you remember you were going up and whispering to people that they had to be here at a certain time and date?
Yes.
And then people have a dance or something.
Yeah, Connor.
It felt very like...
Yes, right, okay, gosh, it's vaguely coming back to me.
Yeah.
It felt very like, is it because Ash had those bananas that you just sort of made something up from the banana? Yes. You know when you're like, was that the... You know when you look at a room and you're
Where's
like,
the
I
kernel of
know
the
that you
idea
just
come
had
from?
this thing and you've just built around... It's like when you you're having a few drinks or smokes or whatever and you build around something.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted it to be a secret, because things are always much more fun, aren't they? When it's a wee bit of secret and nobody really knows what it is they're going to. You know, you're building up the what's that called? You're building up
The anticipation.
Yes, that's the word, anticipation. It always works out much better. But then you were at the end of you were it.
So I think maybe someone else was meant to be it.
Connor had conceptualised this
No, it's
idea
always gonna
called
be it.
Banana Drama, which actually turned up on Drag Race a couple of years later. Do you remember?
I
We was going to do
that
like
was a fitness class or something.
yeah,
we were going to do.
with dance and things.
We were
But needed
really
somebody
trying to
who
find our
knew
way.
how to keep fit and knew how to dance officially. That you could teach people as well. Connor's very much of a freestyler.
Yeah.
But then people would end up in this room at these times, and the next thing Connor would just sort of like appear wearing this banana costume.
Yeah.
And nearly got a head injury at one point because he did this big lift, this big dance. And ended up, there was like a beam across the middle of the room and he clocked his head right
Were
on
you
it.
there for the actual performance? There was one, so there was a couple, but there was one where, and I forget who was behind the scenes. Maybe whoever it was behind the scenes. So I seen the room, seen the banana set up, seen the beam across it, and a couple of chairs out. So then I went backstage, which was just sort of out the back of this wee bit of a hall, and there was like an old curtain thrown up.
Yeah.
So I was behind it, stuffing my Tesco bags into my old Amazon banana suit, like what? And thinking to myself, what is life like?
I love you for doing that. That's coming all back to me now.
Yeah.
Well,
It was like a wee tour around the building that everybody was doing. Like wee Kayla McBride, I think, was there doing magic as well. It was like, they're going to open a door and then you'll be there and you do this trick.
yes.
Bonkers.
Well, one of them, and I think it was the first one, there was just one person, so it was so secret that nobody turned up. There was one person, so
like a
I didn't know what to
dance.
expect. It was so fucking
I'm
awkward.
so sorry.
And the speaker was sort of like, it just sort of half filled the room, so you could hear me breathing as I was dancing. It was really awkward, and I just thought, just do the whole song. And this person was, it struck me as like they had booked tickets to go to your Fringe, thinking it was some very serious artistic moment.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of just breathing all over them. But the curtain was revealed. I jumped out, and then as I ran into the room, I wanted to make a big impact. I jumped. I sort of like leapt in the banana costume, and the beam that was across the room. We've got you here on the podcast today because I'm going to serve you with some legal papers. But the beam, like floored me. It hit me. It knocked me straight back. I had to actually spin it in the moment, look at the person that was behind the scenes, and they give me like are you okay? And I was dancing my way back to this man, just like, I'm fine. But yeah.
That's a perfect example of just creativity.
And
for
joy and
creativity's
play.
sake.
Exactly, yeah.
It's play.
Yeah.
Do you know, there's not that many opportunities for adults now. It's, what is it they say? Like, we don't... it's not that we stop playing when we grow old. We grow old when we stop playing.
Yeah.
Do you know? And you are like the epitome of that, you know, like even as I say, we made sure that our hair colours were nice and intense and ready so that they could sit beside you.
Anyone
and,
that's listening, Christina currently has bright, I mean, like, is there an acid purple? Does that exist?
Yeah.
But like bright purple.
I've
Yeah,
never
it's
been
gorgeous.
purple before.
It's
Changes
gorgeous.
as good as the
Yeah.
rest.
Yes.
You're going to spend I spend a lot of the time, people ask me if I'm wearing a wig.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know why I would be in Tesco's, but there we go.
Yeah.
And you're going to spend the whole of
Well,
Christmas.
the kids, if you are doing like a Christmas show or whatever, the kids are, or any, in fact, any, because I had pink hair and good vibes, they were like
Yes.
expecting that to be the wig.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
I'd come out at the end with the hair and they're like, it's your real
You're like, yeah, thanks. I think.
I think it's right.
So when it comes to Hansel and Gretel, it's really well sold so far. I think all the lyric shows are doing really quite well at this point.
Yeah.
And it starts on the 24th of November, isn't that right?
24th of November, written by the beautiful Tara Lynne
Yes.
O'Neill.
She's a sweetie.
Yes, she's
a
wonderful.
great woman, great
Good
woman.
human.
That's the mummy in Derry Girls, just in case
Yes.
you don't know.
Yes.
And in fact, she was in my West Side Story, I think when she was about 16.
I remember seeing her in plays over the years.
Yeah.
Like she, you know, like yourself. Like there's just certain faces that you see, you know, like that are really, again, the stalwarts of the sort of the acting world here. I remember seeing her in plays over the years,
Yeah.
and so then seeing her on Derry Girls as well. It was like, ah, that's great.
I know,
you know, delighted.
it's great, isn't it, when you see people that you know and love on TV. I love that.
And I loved seeing you on IMDb as well. It's like, look at all the films.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so cool. I know
Yeah.
somebody that's on IMDb.
But it's that same thing when you're killing it in New York, or you're doing one of the other amazing and impressive and very showbiz things, that we'll sit in the house and just think, we know her.
Yeah.
You know, and she's really decent and she's local. I think there's a real vibe here that will sort of really champion people that are from
That's what
here.
we
We'll get
should.
behind them.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
You know.
That's brilliant. We're able to do that.
And you were saying, and it's directed by...
It's directed by the lovely Podge, Patrick O'Reilly.
yes.
What is it? A JBIT? What the JBIT stands for? And Podge. And he's brilliant. He's Lecoq trained, and so it's quite physical, you know.
Love it.
I'd be right up
What's
my street.
Lecoq?
I started circus.
I think I want that. Have I had that training?
I think you know Lecoq very well. You're a top student, I
Yeah, I think I did go to that.
Yeah, the
couple of
academy.
nights.
Yeah.
say.
But is it like a very fancy theatre school? I just don't know.
It would be, it's based, it's a person and it's based in France, and it's a style of training, physicality, I suppose.
Yeah.
Cool.
And would have started, many years ago. But my mask, that sort of, would have come from circus, I suppose, world of clowning.
Cool.
Yes, sort of putting those worlds together.
Yeah,
And so it's for the family, but it's got lots of humour and like lots of. It's not. You don't have to just borrow or steal a child to go along to see it.
Absolutely
like, you know,
not.
it's suitable for
Please
adults
don't
as
steal
well.
a child.
Don't steal a child. Not
We're
this
going to go and
Christmas.
see it, and we'll be just going as two sort of grown-ups. With
Yeah,
zero
no, it's
children
lovely. It'll
around
get you
us.
in the Christmas spirit. It's magical. It's feel good, and it looks beautiful. The costumes are amazing. And Katie Richardson's done the music.
Yes,
We love
She's
Katie.
amazing.
And
She's a sweetie.
listen, you're gonna
So
look,
talented.
We're banging out the tunes. You'll be dancing.
Yeah.
Well, we're
Very
actually
exciting.
we're going to get Katie on.
Oh, brilliant.
Eventually, we just could. I think she's actually recording something for
Yeah,
the show
strings.
today, and she didn't quite know how long it would take.
Yeah.
So we will at some point, but we would love to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, well,
'cause
she'll tell you all about Lecoq. Yeah,
sure she will. That's
in
the,
more detail.
the word in the street there.
Yeah.
But no, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you
Like
so
a
much.
just a nice conversation.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry
Merry Christmas.
May all your dreams come true.
We never did quite work out what rhymes with Christmas, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll spend Christmas thinking about it.
No,
Yeah.
don't you put that back in my head now.
Sorry.
Well, enjoy your
Get
day.
back to sleep.
That'll be you on stage doing your 10 characters, and you're like, what does rhyme
Listen,
with
it doesn't take
Christmas?
much to distract me these days.
Not you in your beaver suit. Well, look, thank you so much again. And we'll look forward to, I think they've given us tickets actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're going to come and see all the shows
that's
and
brilliant.
get very Christmassy. We'll be at the stage
Stay
door.
behind and I'll show you my beaver.
We'll be shouting. We'll be shouting. Is that a wig?
Tell you what, these offers, honestly.
We'll look forward to it.
Yeah, Christina, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We
Thank
just
you for
adore
coming
you.
on your day off.
Like your
This is good for my
talent
soul. I'm
and
coming back.
who you are as a human being as well. So thank you very much for that, and thank you for always making us feel very welcome and supporting us in what we do as well. We are so grateful
For letting us take your virginity.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Well, listen, thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to give us your follows, your likes, tell your friends, and ring the bell and subscribe. But show some love.
Oh, hello. I didn't even know there was a camera.